Mom would wash my mouth out with soap, but just because I didn't, I didn't feel that way. I didn't understand the hate and slavery. I thought was the biggest abomination ever, and embarrassment in our history. I mean, seriously. And
slavery goes back a lot
it.
further than the United States.
Oh, I know that, but
slavery goes way back.
Oh, I know it goes way. I just don't get it. I never agreed. I don't understand how you could feel that way about owning another human being. I don't understand it. And I've been really strong against it. And so was my mom. Well, when you do a past life regression, things start to make little light bulbs go off in your head and go, ho, that makes sense. Well, my guardian angel is supposedly, from what I've been told by not one but three different people that do these things, that he was once owned by my family and that I fought them every step of the way and would refuse to treat them as slaves because they were my friends and I considered them my family, and I would not do that. And so I was told that, we were very close and I took up for him and he took up for me. He was like my protector. And I went through hell because I took up for him, and that he died first, and I said, you told me you wouldn't leave me, and he said, I promise I'll never leave you. And then I was hung, or I was killed for being a sympathizer, I guess, to the slave. And so now he is, ever since I was born into, I guess, this life, possibly the last, I don't know, he has been yelling at me, telling me, I told you I would never leave you. And and I haven't, I don't hear spirits, and I've been going, who's my guardian angel? And they're like, you know his name? I'm like, no, I don't. But it's Luther is his name, and he was, a very good friend of mine, and my family, I guess, owned him, and I fought them and lost my life because of it. So he is now my guardian angel in this life. And I feel the same, the same way as I did back in those days. I guess I just don't like it. I think it's ridiculous, and I totally don't agree with it. But what can I do about it?
In this day and age, it is outrageous.
Yes, it is.
And the way I'm not talking about black slavery in America. I'm looking back at Rome.
Any, I'm talking any slavery.
When most of the people were slaves, it had a purpose. It served a purpose. They couldn't take care of themselves otherwise. They would actually surrender themselves as slaves in some cases in order to be taken care of. Not taken care of because they worked hard. But they had somebody to work hard for who was going to make sure they had food and a place to sleep. And, there were logistics to it. Now, what happened in this country was different. I mean, we imported slaves from Africa, but we also imported slaves from Ireland.
Oh, they were from everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, places like Sloss Furnaces, they would go to the, pretty much, and this is in their history books. I'm not making this up. This is part of their, they present when you go to their place, is that they would take, people from right off the boat and tell them, we got a job for you, we got a place for you to live, we'll pay you, all this stuff. And then they would get them down there, and it would be extreme working conditions, and then they would pay them, but they would pay them in what they would call clackers. And they could only spend them at that company store. So it was like they owned them all the way around.
Right.
It was a different type of slavery, but it was still
slavery nonetheless.
They owed their soul to the company store, and that's part of the history. And a lot of companies around the United States did that back in those days.
Oh, yeah.
And it was all races. It wasn't just the black, the African Americans. It was all people and of all races. And I mean, we're not even going to go into what they did to the Native American Indians, my ancestors.
Oh, my God.
But, we're not even going to go there. But that's a whole nother Oprah show, you know what I mean?
Yes, it is.
It's a whole nother one. But, the past life regression and things like that is so cool. And what I'm looking also forward to about this weekend is I don't think any psychic that I know has ever given a free gallery reading.
No, I haven't heard of one.
No, I haven't either. It's always an extra charge.
Do you know if that's happening at the Depot or is that happening over at Hill House? I don't know the details.
I'm really not sure. I should ask Gary about that. I just got off the phone with Gary, and I can't wait to see all them too. And like I said, we got Dash Beardsley coming from Galveston.
I couldn't believe
which
that.
I've never met him. He reminds me of a couple of people mixed together, and he's so rock and roll. It's almost like Whitesnake lead singers coming or something. And then we got Till and Timmy and Mark.
Before.
Has he? I didn't know that. That's cool. And Scott's been there for sure because he's got unfinished business. Yeah. And I've been there. That's what started my fire. So it's going to be fun. I think we're going to have a really big blast. And then Jeremy Leonard, you've never met him. He's a Cajun from way back.
No.
He's got that accent from Louisiana. And he's a Cajun demonologist, so he's got a pretty interesting story. And I revamped my little presentation, so we're going to have a really cool time, and I hope a lot of people will join us. But before we get into the ticket stuff, so they can find tickets to come up and see us this weekend, why don't you tell everybody kind of where they can find you on Facebook so they can buy your books and stuff and reserve the house if they wanted to for an investigation?
Well, I am Linda Anthony Hill on Facebook, and we have www.hillhousemanor.com is our website, and there's a calendar there that shows what's booked when, kind of, when I keep up with it. But there's, you can get in touch with me basically on Facebook to reserve the house. And Brandon's Ghost actually has its own website, which is brandonsghost.com. But you can talk to me about that on Facebook, too. I live on Facebook. I just live on Facebook.
I do too. We're all a bunch of freaking addicted people to Facebook. But you know what? It's awesome, you know. I mean, I get, in contact with really cool people, and I find out about cool events, and I've been, able to locate people I haven't talked to in 30-plus years, and it's cool. But it can also be ugly, too, at the same time, but we're not going to go there either.
No.
But stay with me real quick while I make some announcements, and I want to thank you for being on my show. I appreciate it. Everybody go get her books. The guest book, I need to read that because I want to see if we didn't write something in there. If not, maybe I will after this weekend. We probably did because we had a couple of events happen to us while we were there. But if you want to go to Hill House Manor this weekend, Santa Fe Depot, and the hanging tree that is located in Gainesville, go to ASAP Entertainment at Weebly.com, and you're going to click on the events ticket tab, and it'll take you to each event they have. That's this weekend, Friday and Saturday, the 28th and 29th, at Miss Hill's house, Hill House Manor in Gainesville. Then we have next month, we are going to Biloxi, Mississippi with Spars Paranormal for the Gulf Coast Paracon, and that's taking place September 25th and 26th. You can get tickets at www.sparsparanormal.com. October 3rd, Beckham Spirit Fest in Mineola, Texas. Oh, my God, I can't wait for this one. November 6th and 7th, the Resurrection of Tombstone, which is also another ASAP Entertainment amazing event. And we're going to have the guys from Ghost Mine and the guys from Deep South Paranormal, Scott Grinwald, myself, and the guys from Skeptical Edge and the Holes. They know everything about that area. Then we've got, for my birthday, which this is going to be a blowout, it is going to be December 4th through the 6th, Mineral Wells Paracon, and they just added John L. Tenney to the mix, along with, Christopher St. Booth and Brian Cano and all these other cool people, Scott Grinwald. So go ahead and look that up, too. And everything will be on Close to Death Facebook page, or look up Fear Paranormal. Next week I have Miss Sherry Collins from NPS Texas. And also, I wanted to make the announcement here on the show. Fear Paranormal is going to be expanding into Austin. Spirit Austin was born this weekend at the Nut House. Perfect location. And those announcements of the members and the Facebook page will be announced later tonight. So, everybody, thank you so much for joining us. Join us next week when Sherry will join us, and we will have fun with the Paradiva. Everybody have a great week, and peace out.